This video will show you how to install Kubuntu 14.10 on a PC or laptop. Right then, so what you want to do is insert the install medium. That medium would either be your DVD-ROM or the USB thumb drive. For a video showing you the best way to create a USB thumb drive, and also for a video for the best way to create a DVD drive, stay tuned to my channel. Right, so once your install medium has booted, you will be presented with the Kubuntu 14.10 installation process. So here you have a welcome screen. You can choose the language. So in my case I want to choose English, but you can go ahead and change the language to any of the languages available. So okay, I'm going to keep it as English. Now you got two options. You can directly install Kubuntu, or you could try Kubuntu 14.10. For this video, I'm going to show you how to install Kubuntu. In this series, I'll also show you how to format a partition to install Kubuntu on, because you could either do that during the install process, or you could also do it, and you can also do that during the Kubuntu live CD mode. So for this, I'm going to click on install Kubuntu. install Kubuntu. Now, if you want to read a bit of information, here are some release notes. So by clicking on that link, you'll be presented with this website, and then you get all the information regarding install mediums, install process, upgrade process, so on and so forth. But yeah, for this, I'm going to, let's close it. Let's go straight into the install and take it from there. Now, based on previous experience, I find that having the internet access could slow it down. So to install your Kubuntu, you could go ahead and disable your internet access on the host. In my case, my host. And obviously, if you're installing it on a fresh computer or laptop, then you can take it from there. But yeah, that's so for me, I'm just gonna disable it. So it's disconnected. The virtual drive won't be picking this up. But for now, that'll do. So I'm gonna click on install Kubuntu, and then you can choose to install third-party software and download updates while installing. I'm not going to do that. And of course, on your install, if you're installing it on a fresh install, then it won't be showing up with this fresh computer or laptop. Right, so once you've chosen what you want to do, i.e. install third-party software, that's your Flash, your MPEGs, your audio formats, and so on and so forth. So it just plays it out of the box. And once you've chosen this option, these are all the proprietary services that could come with your operating system, Linux operating system. So okay, so I'm going to click on continue. Now I am running this on a single core virtual box, but of course this will be speeded up according to the hardware behind your installation. So you get three options. Where would you like to install Kubuntu? Now, guided. They're all going to be guided partitions, and you can use the entire disk. Use the entire disk and set up LVM, which is I'm not sure, but use the entire disk again, but this time encrypted, and then you just set the encryption key. You can also choose to manual install. Now that's going to ask you to partition your hard drives or hard drive. Now at this point, or in fact before you go ahead and install Kubuntu, I highly advise you to unplug any drives that you don't want to be seen by the install. This prevents data loss. So say you got a Windows 7 install or Windows 8 install, unplug that hard drive, and on a separate hard drive, on a clean new hard drive, which is highly advisable, go ahead and plug that in, and that would be where your Kubuntu install will go. It will show up here, and it will only show one device. I advise that because number one, the install process will scan for any drives. You can also update it once you've had your system update set up how you like, i.e. drivers and so on and so forth. Once you have it all set up, you can plug those drives back in, no data lost, and you just update grub. I can show that to you in a future video, of course. For now, before we continue, I highly advise you to buy a new hard drive or a second-hand hard drive. Install your operating system on that. Right, now for the sake of this install process, I'm going to click back, and I'm going to choose use entire disk, and this menu here will come up with all the disk that you can install it on. That's where unplugging your hard drives comes into play. Right, so once you've done that, selected your hard drive that you wanted to install, now be warned, this is going to wipe out anything on that hard drive, so I'd highly advise you to back up your data beforehand. Right, to get going, click install now. Right, so it's going to give you a warning sign. In this case, because I'm installing it on a virtual machine, I don't need to worry. In your case, let's make sure you either unplugged all your hard drives or you've partitioned it beforehand. I'm going to show you how to partition it in a live CD mode in another video. So click continue. Right, so it's going to be creating various things, and then you can, so this progress bar will show you where it is at this point, at a particular point during the install. Now the speed of the install is going to be dependent on the speed of your drive, and it's also going to be dependent on the number of cores. Right, so while it's installing, it will ask you where you live. This will allow you to set up the time zone. Now I live in London, so I'm clicking on that, and it changes the drop down menus to region and time zone. Right, so I'm going to click next. In another video, I can show you how to set it up so that when you log into your Windows Drive partition, the time zones are the same. Because there's a thing that goes on, there's a setup behind the scenes that makes your other partitions go back in time or forward in time, fast or slow. So yeah, I'm going to click continue. Right, so because I live in the UK, I'm going to choose the English UK keyboard layout. Of course, if you have a different keyboard, you can go ahead and change it accordingly. Of course, Kubuntu, being a Linux distro, is compatible on your OS X, Apple laptop, or Mac or iMac. You just need to choose the right keyboard for it, and it's got those options there: Macintosh International, UK Macintosh, and then extended key, wing keys, international with dead keys. Right, I'm going to click on the default option, and from this point I'm going to click continue. Right, in this screen I'm going to set up my username and my password. So AEV, and then I choose the password. A very secure password, as you can see. And I'm going to click on login automatically, since this is a virtual drive for me and security ain't going to be an issue. But if you want, you can choose to require a password to log in, and you can also choose to encrypt your home folder, which I'm not going to do. And of course, it renames your partition, renames the operating system accordingly under this section. Now I'm going to proceed by clicking continue. I of course log in automatically, and of course this password, being a Debian based install, would be setting up your, being a Ubuntu based install, this password would also act as your root account. Debian has a slightly different way. You can choose whether to have that password be the root account as well, for the password for the root account as well, or choose to have a separate account password for the root. But okay, so everything's set on this user side, and of course I'll be the default administrator. I'm going to click continue. Right, it's going to take you through the slideshow, and this is the point where you get yourself a cup of tea, coffee, probably have a meal, just chill out and let it happen. Just to let you know, most cases, depending on how close you are of downloading the ISO file to the release date, if you had the internet access, you would and you choose the option to select, to install all updates, it would pull down all the updates from the server, and that could turn your 10-minute install, 5-10 minute install, depending on the speed of your hard drive and the speed of your laptop or your PC, how many cores and that could end up extending the install process time. Of course, this is all coming directly off the ISO, so whatever's stored in the ISO is being dragged into the current operating system that you've just set up. There is this option to skip it, the red icon. For the sake of this video, I'm going to actually skip it. You just click that and it should be able to skip it. I'm going to pause the recording and come back to you when the install is finished. Right, so as you can see, it's past that point, and it's just detecting other operating systems, creating user, configuring hardware, and so on and so forth. I advise you to actually read through the slideshow for viewing pleasures, at least once. And just a little insight, Kubuntu is a very complete desktop. It's very solid in terms of bringing the old features into the new modern day, and it's not shying away from what it used to be. It's always progressed keep maintaining the old values, unlike Unity and GNOME 3. And of course, being Kubuntu, it's highly customizable. Being a KDE based desktop environment, it's highly customizable, and it's based on the traditional panel style of desktop environment. So you got a panel right at the bottom with icons, with the pinning, with notifications, so on and so forth. Alright, so is this going through the last steps? Okay, so the install is finished. Stay tuned for a review of the Kubuntu 14.10. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe, like, rate and comment on this video.